ringside, Luis Rivera. Guess what nationality he is, Steve?
I would say he is from Turkey. Is that right?
I think you're a turkey if you think he's from Turkey.
Puerto Rico.
Obviously Puerto Rican descent, now residing in New Haven, Connecticut. Coming in tonight 5-5, 1 knockout. And Antonio Oliveros 1-1-1. Last fight, 4-round decision win over Jose Espinal. Only loss coming to Giovanni Collado. And a technical draw in his first pro fight. So he's looking, both fighters coming in with 500 records. Somebody's coming out of here tonight above 500 unless it's a draw. But we're going to get the official introductions on these pugilists from the man who's got the paper in his hand, Mark Bureau.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe LaGuardia's Star Boxing presents this contest scheduled for 4 rounds in the featherweight division. Your referee for this event is Joe Santarpia. Introducing first, in the red corner to my left, wearing the black trunks with the Puerto Rican flag accessory. He weighs in at 125.5 pounds. His professional record, 5 victories, 5 defeats, and 1 win coming by way of knockout. El Hijo de Puerto Rico, now living in New Haven, Connecticut. Here is Luis Rivera. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with the red trim, weighing 121 pounds. His professional record, 1 victory, 1 defeat, 1 draw. El Hijo de la República de México, now making his home in Oliveros. 4 rounds featherweight.
That's good. He's good. Tell me you both know the rules. You both understand English? Okay, you both know the rules. I want a good, clean fight. When I say break, I want you both to step back and break clean. Shake hands now, and God bless you both.
Well, Joe Santarpia making sure that they can understand him. Steve, what about the 4.5-pound weight advantage right now for Rivera? At this weight, that's a lot.
Yeah, it sure is. These guys are only featherweights, junior featherweights. I think if it was any more, the commission probably wouldn't have allowed this fight. But remember, the weigh-in was today, which means the fighters did not have that much time to put on extra weight. If the weigh-in had been yesterday, we could have a situation where Rivera was considerably much more than Oliveros.
Rivera again coming in at 125.5 to 121 for Oliveros. Somewhat of a suspect chin, though, on Rivera. He's been stopped twice. Most recently by Bobby Tomasello back in August of '99. Prior to that, you have to go back to 1996 before he took a 3-year layoff. He got dropped for the count by Elpidio Diaz. Oliveros, of course, never been stopped. 1-1-1, his only loss coming by way of decision. In spite of the fact that Rivera started his pro career in '93, he's the younger of the two, 26 years of age. Oliveros, 28. Starting kind of late for boxing. Especially for a Mexican fighter, Steve. They usually start young. Instead of saying that they started at 28, we're usually saying they started at 16.
Yeah, exactly. A fighter like Marco Antonio Barrera turned pro 14, 15 years old. So, and also the lighter weights turn pro younger. And these guys are both small. Rivera, very short. I mean, he looks like he's about 5'1", 5'2". We don't have his height here, but very short fighter, even for a featherweight.
Nice left hook drops in by Rivera. It's Rivera in black with the Puerto Rican flag. Oliveros in the white and red. He's a fighter with major punching power. I could see why, Steve.
Yeah, Rivera's been the busier guy. He's carrying the round, I think. But
He's only got one knockout in his 5 wins. Oliveros has yet to score his first KO win. They both tend to slap a little bit. A tough first round to score.
Well, Rivera's jumping in with left hooks. Right hand that time. It's really up to Oliveros to time that shot and try to catch Rivera coming in. So far, he hasn't done it.
He seems more concerned about getting hit with the left hook.
And he's ducking his head a lot, Oliveros is, and that makes it difficult. Watch when they get some distance. Now, see, there he goes. He drops his head as soon as Rivera starts to punch.
Hey, boxing fans, come out for live boxing. Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing presents Rockin' Fights. For ticket information, go to starboxing.com or ticketmaster.com. See some of the best young fighters. Star Boxing, Rockin' Fights, it's a knockout.
Round number 2, this is scheduled for 4. Luis Rivera, he's in the black with the white fringe. Antonio Oliveros, red and white. And Rivera coming out very fast here in the second, Steve.
He throws a lot of punches. For what that's worth, I mean, I think he carried the first round with that volume punching. And Oliveros hasn't really established anything. He hasn't established a jab, nor any power punches, nor a body attack. So he's got to get started.
Well, I think Rivera's got 2 big advantages here. He's got 11 pro fights to 3 for Oliveros. And, of course, as we mentioned, he's got that 4.5 pounds of weight.
Be interesting to see this round. When they're on the outside like this, if Rivera...
low blow by Rivera.
Whoa. Oliveros almost going down. Be interesting to see if Rivera can adjust to Oliveros keep dropping his head like that. That caused a problem for Rivera in the first round.
Very fast first minute here for Rivera. Oliveros don't want to lay on the ropes like that, though, Steve.
No, because Rivera just ducks in low and brings punches up and makes it very easy for him.
A lot of wrestling right now, and Santarpia content to let them try to break on their own. Oh, halfway gone in a big left-right combination by Rivera. Rocks Oliveros. And look at the welt right now, Steve, under the left eye.
Left eye, yeah.
Of Oliveros. I think it looks like he's growing another head. And what a target that is right now for Rivera.
You think that's from a punch on, or is that from a butt? There's a right hand, best punch of the fight so far for Oliveros. Would that be from a butt or a punch? I mean, when it's so severe and so quick, the swelling.
I'm trying to measure the height, and I think it might be from a punch. Certainly nothing declared on the part of referee Joe Santarpia, who again, letting them wrestle. It's really amazing sometimes the contrast in referee styles and how that affects fights.
Very true and very in this fight, I really think that Rivera benefits from Santarpia letting them fight on the inside, because he's smothering his own power in one sense, but he's also not letting Oliveros do anything. I mean, look at that.
Oh, and he's manhandling him, and he's using that weight advantage to push him around. He's certainly the stronger of the two. And it's a shame for Oliveros that he's not using his height and reach advantage. Another good round for Rivera. Halfway gone in the 4th.
Can't get enough of Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing? Download the Star Boxing TV app or check out our Roku channel to watch exclusive content and classic fights. Every punch, every knockout, every screen. The Star Boxing TV app gives you exclusive access to every moment of Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing. Available on Apple, Android, and Roku. Just search Star Boxing to get in the ring.
Second half of a scheduled 4-rounder. No knockdowns thus far in the fight, but it's been totally in the control of Luis Rivera, using that weight advantage to muscle Antonio Oliveros, who's in the red and white shorts. And finds himself in a familiar position again, Steve, with his back to the ropes and that big welt under his left eye.
He's just done nothing, Oliveros. He's not even in this fight. It's not like he's been hurt, but he's really just offensively been totally ineffective. There he is, backing in again, then drops his head and holds. It's all he can do.
Fourth professional fight for Oliveros, who came in tonight 1-1-1. Won his last fight, 4-round decision over Jose Espinal.
Good right hand there by Oliveros. He landed one in the second round. He's landed one in the third. That's about it. And anybody who thinks we're making too much of this 4.5-pound weight advantage for Rivera, first of all, keep in mind it may be more than 4.5 pounds by the time they get in the ring. That's what they weighed at the weigh-in, which was what, 12 hours ago, or almost 12 hours ago. So Rivera conceivably could have a much bigger weight advantage. And at this weight, that can have an effect.
Oliveros weighing 122 for his last fight, weighing 121 at the weigh-in today. Rivera 125.5. So Oliveros not consciously looking to come in light, he just comes in skinny. Oh, Rivera really teeing off on him right now. Familiar picture of this fight of Oliveros with his back to the ropes and a swarming Luis Rivera all over him. And again, Steve, as we mentioned, it's not just about the weight. It's about 11 fights professionally to 3 fights professionally. Rivera's even been 6 rounds twice in his career. So going to 4-round distance for him should be a cakewalk.
The one thing I'd like to see more from Rivera is some body punching, especially when Oliveros is on the ropes.
Well, I'll give Oliveros this. He keeps those elbows tucked in real good. It's hard. He's got long arms that are protecting his face and his body when they're on the inside.
Not a pretty fight to watch, but it's being fought on Rivera's terms, that's for sure.
Without a doubt, and we've got him pitching a shutout thus far, and nothing makes us think that the end of the third's going to be any different than the first 2 rounds.
See, even when Oliveros lands a good right hand like he just did, Rivera comes back. Blood from the nose of Oliveros.
Fourth and final round, Luis Rivera, black shorts. Antonio Oliveros, red and white. Steve, how you've got it scored going into the fourth?
3-zip, 30-27.
Identical to my score sheet, but Oliveros coming out all of a sudden as if somebody in his corner told him you need a knockout to win, which would be very accurate.
Yes, he landed a good right hand again. I tell you, the body language told you a lot between rounds. Rivera off his stool way before the 10-second buzzer and pacing in his corner, where Oliveros, totally different picture in his corner. His arms up on the ropes, and he looked like Apollo Creed in the 14th round of the first Rocky movie, exhausted.
And again, Rivera coming from a place where he's been the 6-round distance twice, and that's a major advantage as well, not just the volume of fights and the fact that he's got a 4.5-pound weight advantage. So it's all in favor of Rivera tonight, who, keep in mind, does not have the greatest chin in the world. He's been stopped twice in his 5 losses. Not big punching power, only 1 knockout in his 5 wins. But yet, manhandling Oliveros here tonight. And now I think Oliveros is totally in survival mode. Oh, and he eats a big left hand. His legs buckle. And you almost got the impression there Rivera was holding him up, Steve.
Yeah, that overhand right is the only thing Oliveros has going for him. If he doesn't land that, he doesn't land anything.
Nice right over the top finally lands for Oliveros. No jab whatsoever, though, Steve.
No jab from Oliveros. Very little body punching from Rivera. Rivera driving Oliveros across the entire length of the ring. Didn't throw one body punch.
But he's having a great time.
And he's winning.
Oh, he's winning big. Under a minute to go in the fight, and we did learn one thing, though. I think Oliveros takes a pretty good punch, considering that he's been getting beat up all night. And the guy doing the beating's got a 4.5-pound weight advantage as well. No quit whatsoever in Rivera here. Way ahead on points. You'd think he would coast the last 30 seconds.
As short as he is, he knows the only way for him to fight is come forward. Otherwise, that lack of height becomes a big disadvantage. So he's always looking to burrow in, close the gap on his taller opponents.
And Santarpi has let him fight his fight.
He has. Well, you know the rule is, the fighters have one hand free each. You don't break them.
There's the fight. Oh, and a nice flip at the end of the round for Luis Rivera. Unofficially pitching a shutout on our cards, 40-36. Oliveros never in the fight, was not able to use his height and reach advantage to get anything started. Luis Rivera looking like a bulldog. Fighting Jake LaMotta style. And we're going to take a look here at how things ended at the end of the round, though, Steve. Take a look at the slip here, and then what Rivera does. He was actually pushed over by the referee.
That's turning a negative into a positive. He makes it look like it's part of his act. That was the best exchange of the fight, Arnie, at the very end there.
Still throwing punches, looking very fresh as Luis Rivera, as we mentioned. He's been 6. So going 4, very easy for him tonight. More than likely he'll be improving to 6-5, where Oliveros is going to drop down under 500 to 1-2-1. And it should be very easy addition as we see Mark Bureau gathering the score sheets. Give us the official decision, Mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. All 3 judges at ringside, Melvina Latham, Julie Letterman, and Art Levy, have scored this bout 40-36 to the winner by unanimous decision, Luis Rivera.
All right, well, no surprises there. Rivera improves to 6-5. Oliveros drops down to 1-2-1. Still more to come. We're swinging on the stars. Stay